Email is still one of the most powerful ways for your business to communicate online. Now, we have other options like text, messenger, chatbots. Those are all great for your business as well, but email is still where it's at. In 2023, there was over $10 billion in revenue generated from email marketing. That's projected to increase to over $17 billion by 2027. So we still need to be able to take advantage of email marketing. Hey, my name is Steve Stark. I'm with Stark Web Design and Crushing Marketing, and today I want to show you a little bit about how the email marketing features work inside of Kartra. So stay tuned. All right, so once we're in the Kartra platform, we're going to navigate over to Communications. All right, and then once you're in there, you're going to see at the top Leads, Communications, and Analytics. We're going to go into Communications. And then we have three options of broadcasts, sequences, and automations, and then our analytics over here as well. When you first pop into the system, it'll go into leads. I'm not going to go into leads just because I've got people's emails in there, but it'll show you your leads. It'll show you your email lists, and it'll allow you to create tags for those as well. So let's just take a look at Inside Communications first with broadcasts. So this is going to give you, again, a list of all the broadcasts that you've sent. If you want to create an email that's going to be sent out to one of your lists, you would click on broadcast, the little plus there, give it a name. So we can just call this test. We can just pick whatever category. We're just going to leave it as no category for now. I'm going to click create. And then this is where it's going to take us into the broadcast email builder. Okay. So again, you can send SMS from here if you attach that, if you want to do text. But we're sending by email. This is all, email is all set up. It's very simple to set up your email through the integrations tab. I have starkwebdesign.com is set up on Google Workspace. So again, it's very easy to connect the Kartra Mail gateway to your email provider. And I would highly recommend you do not want to send emails from a Gmail account or a Yahoo account. That's not going to work in any autoresponder or email marketing system. So you're going to want to have a custom domain email like I have Steve at starkwebdesign.com. So you're going to want it to be, an at custom domain. Okay. All right. So I hit save here. Then I'm going to hit save and next. This is where I choose my recipients. So I can go in and go subscribe to a list, not subscribe to a list, has tag. There's lots of different ways that you can segment who you're sending emails to. And again, we'll take a look at lists in just a few minutes. But this is a great way to kind of figure out who you're going to send things to. You can do it as detailed as who's played a certain video, completed a video. You can give scores. If you have people in memberships, again, if you don't have lists, you can just go in and says has access to membership. There are a ton of different ways that you can segment your emails to go out to a detailed portion of a list and not just a list. All right. So if we just say subscribe to a list and we choose, I'm just going to choose one here. I don't even know if I have any in this one. So there's only one in there. That's okay. This is just a test list. So if I say that these are coaching clients, I hit save and next. I can choose to include the GDPR. And these are for people who have not agreed to receive communications from you. So, which you probably don't want to send emails out to people like that. You want to make sure that you have permission. If you don't, for some reason, maybe you got a list of emails through a physical, in-person event. You're going to want to include that. Otherwise, if they're already on your list, they've already consented to get emails, you don't have to include that. Okay. So I hit save and next. Again, it shows how many are going to be sent an email here. Save and next. I'm going to send a single email, or I can actually A/B split test. There's, if you want to write different versions of an email, you can do that and see which one works better. But for simplicity here, we'll just look at a single email. This is the email builder. There are two different ways that you can do about this. You can do just a text email, which in most cases, I recommend sending out just text emails. You can do rich HTML, and this allows you to build with images, with different kinds of content pieces, almost like building a website in the website builder. The problem with rich HTML emails is that they're going to have a much lower deliverability rate. Okay, and I'd say much. It's going to have a lower deliverability rate because some people are going to have things set they're going to block when you have images or videos or certain kinds of content other than text in your email. So it's if you're sending out a lot of emails, it is better from a marketing standpoint to send them out without a lot of that rich HTML content. So I really focus on text. If your list is engaged, you're not going to need to have flashy things in the emails. Now, it doesn't mean I don't sometimes include a picture, and you can include an image if you want to by clicking this media button here. So you can include it in these, but I recommend doing text over rich HTML. So let's just, again, say this is test. If you want to enter preview text, you can. Again, you can also add dynamic variables. So if we want this to say, hello, and then have it produce their first name, you can do that. If there are other things that you have, you can pull information. If you have affiliates, you can put an affiliate link in there. But this will auto-fill dynamically what their name is in their lead card when you're contacting them. Okay, you can send a test email from here, so you can see what your email looks like before you send it. Know this: when you send a test email, it's not going to say that it comes from you. It's going to say it comes from Kartra. That is just for the test. When you actually send the emails out, it'll look like they're coming from however your email is set up. So mine is set up as Steve Stark Web Design. It'll show as that instead of saying that it's from Kartra. But when you test emails, the test is coming from a Kartra kind of generic email account. So it's going to look a little bit different as to where it comes from, but everything in the email will look as it's supposed to. Okay. So if I hit save and next here, now it's going to take me to automations. If I want to create automations with this, I can. And again, these are kind of if-then statements. If the lead opens the email, then do this. You can assign points. You can give them access to different things. You can have them, if they open a certain email, it subscribes them to a sequence. So there's lots of different things that you can do in this automation. Again, you can get as detailed or as complex as you want with these. There are some really cool features on what you can do as far as automations. Okay, so we're not going to set one up here now. If I hit save and next, this is where we would send or schedule later. If I click send now, it's going to pop something up and say, hey, do you really want to send this now? If I hit schedule later, again, I can pick the date from the date picker here whenever I want, and then pick a time, what time of that day I want it to send. I do get some recommendations that are based on previous. So my highest open ratio is weekend evenings. That's when people open most of my emails. The highest click-through rate is the same time. The best goal ratio is the same time. So weekend evenings do best for the emails that I've been sending out of this account. All right, and then once I hit schedule, let's just say we're going to schedule this for tomorrow at 7 p.m. I hit save and next, and there it is. It's going to say congratulations. When I go back to broadcasts, it's going to show my test broadcast right here as scheduled for tomorrow at 7 p.m. And again, I can say, hey, send that right now. I can clone that and make a copy of it, so it's a little bit easier for me to go back and send the next one. I can edit it here, or I can delete it. We're going to delete this one because I don't want it to send out an email with just someone's name. I click delete, and it's gone, right? Okay. Then what we can do is let's go take a look at lists real quick. So this is where I can build lists. And again, I have a lot of test lists in here. But when you do this, we can just go in and look. We can add a new list here. And again, this is just the name. So let's just say this is the test list. You're going to give it a public description. So this is what people will see when they're subscribed, right? This is a public description. It can be up to 80 characters. So you're going to want to say, information on marketing and website maintenance. I don't know. Could be, whatever your main topic is for your list, that's what it'll show there. I click next. My list is saved. Now I can import leads to it. I can create an opt-in form right from here, or I can go back to the list. So if I go back to the list, you're going to see it. It's going to be listed here, test list. It has no active leads. But this is what we would do. Like if we create a page, an opt-in page, we would link or we would create a form that would make sure that when people fill out that form, they're added to this list, and it'll show you how many active leads you have. And this is just a great way you can segment these lists, make as many lists as you want, and make sure that you're sending the right content to the right people. So this is where you create your lists. Back into sequences, and again, I'm just going to show you a sequence here. I'll show you one I just created for this content planner. All right, and when we go in here, you give it a name, give it a public description. We click edit, and this is where we build our sequences, okay? So every sequence starts with a starting rule, all right? So as we look at the starting rule, my starting rule here is actually leads fill in the content monetization lead magnet. So when they fill in that form, they are going to be added to that list, okay? So you can select whatever you want. So this actually should have the coach's course lead magnet. So we'll add that. We'll delete this one. So you can set up list from a tag. You can have the starting rule come when somebody is put on a list. They are there when they order a product, when they visit a page, when they complete a different sequence, or some other advanced automation. So there's a lot of different ways that you can start your sequences. And what a sequence is a sequence is a series of emails that people are going to get sequentially based on how you set it up. So let's say we want to do a nurture sequence, which is what this one is. Let's just save this. This is our starting rule. All right, a nurture sequence. In this sequence, they're getting access to an online content calendar or content planner. So in that first email, they're going to get access to the planner. So I can go in and look at this email here. I can deactivate it. I can edit it. I can clone it. So if I go into edit, I can say, okay, what's the delay? It's right after the previous step. So I can say, all right, so when they opt in on the forum, they are immediately going to get this email. That's right after the first step. The first step is the starting rule. So they opted in. Now they get this. When would they get it? You can set up specific times. If you choose all the days, any time of day, they're going to get it immediately after they send it. There's not going to be any kind of delay. But you can set this up so people only get emails on the weekdays or weekends or certain days of the week, however you want to set that up. This is where this communication is just where you set up the name of the broadcast. All right. The gateway is going to be your Kartra mail. If you have multiple, you can set that up. Recipients, anyone reaching this step, that just means anybody that has completed that previous step and made it to this step, they're going to get it. Okay. And so you don't really have to set up a list or any of those things. That's kind of configured on the opt-in. So when someone opts in, they go. Split test, you can split test from here. The email content is actually edited here. Again, so this is just a very simple text email with links in it. All right, I set this up. Okay, and then when I'm done, I just hit the edit. Edit is the same as save in this system. So when I hit edit, it's going to save it. All right. And then if I want, again, there are options to set up more advanced automations if you want to. So that's how an actual email is created in here. Again, you can drag. If I want to add an email to this, I would just drag it over. All right. And this is where I would set it up right after previous step. Okay. Wait a number of days, execute on a specific date. I hit next. Again, it's going to choose all of these, assuming that you want it to go out any time of day or night, which is how I generally set things up. This is where you would give it the name, test. All right. This is the gateway. This is where we choose which email we use. I just have Kartra Mail set up with my custom domain email. I hit next. This is where I choose the recipients. And again, more times than not, it's going to be anyone reaching this step because it's a sequence. So you're going from step to step to step to step. All right. So I click add. It's going to add that. I hit next. This is where I decide if I want to split test, just like creating a broadcast. I go single email. All right. And then I go to the next one. And this is where we do the text or rich HTML. I can say test. This is our email. I can send a test email to see what it looks like if I want. I hit next. If I want to add again an advanced automation here, I can. We're not going to do that right now. I hit create. And you're going to see a new box. This is a new email here. Okay. I can move it around wherever I want. When you create new items in here, these emails, it's going to number them. The numbers mean nothing in the way of the sequence. The sequence is determined by, from these connections, these arrows that go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. So if I want to add this to the end, that's what we'll do. We'll just add this. We'll just add this one to the end here. There we go. Drag it down to the bottom. It's a little slow. All right. So again, we want to put it before complete. So, let's drag that down some more. A little clunky on the dragging here. That's okay. All right. So what I can do is I can take this arrow, delete that arrow, and then send the arrow from here to here. All right. And then I can drag this completion down a little bit, and then drag this arrow, from here to here. All right, so this email is inactive right now. I need to activate it. When I click activate, it'll actually be in the sequence. And there we go, we got it. Okay, and that email has been added. And again, you can see that these emails are all set up to go one day. This email comes immediately after the starting rule, which is the opt-in. All of these other emails are sent one day, 24 hours later than the previous email. So this is let's see, we have the first day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. This would be, day 9. Actually, we don't want that to say immediately after, so I would edit this and we would have it go wait a number of days. We would say 1 day. And again, this is 1 day from the previous step. All right, so now you're going to see it says 1 day. All right, all of these are good to go. And this is your sequence. So this is, again, sequences are a great way to nurture leads. So when someone comes into your sphere and they opt in for something that you're giving away or buying a product, you can set up a sequence that's kind of nurture them and give them more value-driven content, give them access to different deals, links to other products. It's a great way, again, to market to your list. Money is in the list. So you want to build your list and you want to make sure you're emailing them. That's what email marketing is all about. Okay. All right. So we're just going to quick delete this. Again, this is pretty easy to get rid of these. I just click on these. I hit deactivate. I hit delete. That one's going to go away. And then all I have to do is just reconnect that previous email there. And now my sequence is back to where it was. All right. I hit done and exit. And we're back to the list sequence. Okay, again, this is where you would also set up any different kinds of automations that you have. If you want to do advanced automations outside of email, you do those here. And then analytics. This is our last part here. You can look at your broadcast analytics. So you can see here, there's been 4 broadcasts in the last 30 days out of this account. It'll show you the number of recipients. It looks like there were 243 people that received it, 3 unsubscribed, 55 opened, 2 actually clicked. And if I want to see percentages instead of numbers, I can see 22% open rate, 8% click-through rate, not a great click-through rate. And we can look at percentages based on what it is, either numbers or percentages. All right, and you can see your previous 5. You can go back and look at all the emails you've ever sent. You can look at them by category. So there's lots of different ways that you can look at your numbers when it comes to these. And then sequences. You can actually look at the analytics of sequences, and you can see the active leads and what they've done inside of your sequence. So you can look in detail at certain sequences. So let's just select. Oh geez. Let's look at this one. Content monetization. So I can look at this, and if I hover over it, it's going to tell me 7 people have passed through this email. There have been some unsubs, no clicks. This isn't great data, but it shows you what the analytics are for each of these emails independently. So that's kind of cool. All right. Okay. So that's our that's the email features and marketing system inside Kartra. If you're interested in Kartra, there should be a link down below to get a free trial for that. Also, if you want to set up a consultation to see how Kartra will work for you, or take a look at what you have for existing online systems, we have free consultations all the time. So sign up for one of those. Hope you got some value from today. If you did, please like, comment, and share. Until next time, bye-bye.